All right. Next story, probably the big story, Star Citizen. And I know people are already mad because I've mentioned it. So they've raised $800 million so far from their community, and they were going to add a new ship upgrade. And this ship upgrade also, again, because people are crazy, yes, it did improve your ships, but it also made other parts of your ship worse. But you would do that thing because like it makes your ship better, which you wouldn't do it otherwise if it didn't make it better. So you would pay for this thing, and it would help you win.
So
It's
wait
not
a
pay
minute.
to win.
So we're spending $40 for a ship, $100 for a ship.
Those are cheap ships.
Thousands of dollars for a ship, $15,000 for the big ship that a clan can run, hundreds and thousands of dollars on these ships, right? Now and they've built a whole economy out of this, and people are invested. But what did it take to piss off a community that's unpiss-offable? Well, now you take those ships and now you piecemeal individual blades in it. And this came about via that large ship I was talking about that already cost, $15,000. And they were saying, oh, here's another thing. If you don't have enough players, you can install AI modules into the different turrets so that they operate on their own. And by the way, these module systems is not just going to be for this ship, it's going to be for all ships in the game. And then they started selling these AI blade modules for $10, $15, $30 more expensive for better ships. Better ships, more expensive blades. And these individual blades is like boost your speed by this much, reduce your turn radius by a smaller amount. This and that and that and this. And it is fucking ridiculous. And to piecemeal this game out in this way, to piss off the community in this way, and yet have another generation of revenue stream, it's desperate. It must be that they have run out of funds.
I mean, I've been telling people for fucking weeks, according to the reporting, they have spent about $800 million on the game, which is how much they have raised.
This is the most mismanaged game of all time, I think, at this point. Chris Roberts has no fucking idea how to make a video game anymore. The managers and people in charge are running amok. Never thought I'd say this. We said this 3 years ago, and it's still an ongoing saga. They need someone like an EA to come in, an EA CEO, and say, cut this shit out. We're cutting that, we're putting this shit out. Then, once the shit is out, then you add to it. You know what I mean? Somebody who'll go in there. But to add insult to injury, I just looked this up. So, yeah, Alex, actually, finish what you're going. What's saying about the blades.
Yeah, so you could purchase the blade. And then people were upset because it was perceived pay to win. And then also it's getting to the point now where they're like, hey, you would be able to unlock these games in-game eventually, but we're giving you access to them now because they need money. And the reason they need money, as of the end of 2022, they had spent $637 million on the game's development. That's only in 2022. End of 2023, additional $163 million for more expenses. It keeps going up. They are spending so much money so fast that people aren't buying ships as fast anymore because they've got all the dedicated people. There's only so much milk in each cow. Now, whale milk is different, right? One comes out the consistency of like cheese, which is weird, right?
What are we doing?
I wanted you to learn something.
Okay.
Today. Yeah, and so it's real thick and kind of gross.
Yeah.
But like whale milk is different, but there's only so many whales, and so like they're milking these normal people. Yeah. And if you've already dropped $800 over the last couple, decade.
Yeah.
If you spent $1,000 over the last decade,
yes,
getting these additional pieces it was the last straw for too many people.
Because realize, I'm gonna be free game in the fucking universe. When the universe releases, when it finally releases, it's gonna be free. You don't have to pay any of this. Well, get this: if you don't pay your $750 for this particular ship and another $50 for some of the AI modules, when that guy's ship blows up, he gets it immediately in his hangar, and the blades too back in his hangar. If you grind for that ship, it's going to take you 150 hours to get it. You're going to work a real fucking job. After you get home from work, you're going to work another job. And then once you get that ship, then you get the ship. And then if that ship blows up or that ship is stolen, that's it. You do it all over again. Another 150 hours.
Unless you pay
Unless you fucking pay
real money.
Unless you fucking pay real money. So this is why this shit is
not for
fucking ridiculous. Now, since anyone who would label this as a paid advantage, many are understandably labeling it as pay to win, and this backlash is so severe that now the flight blades have been delayed, and when they go live, you'll be able to use in-game currency to buy those blades. Because the blades originally are a limited time, buy them only now because they need to generate all that money. So initially they were saying this is limited time, you can't get this otherwise, but now I think it is going to be available to everybody later on.
Yeah, they're pushing it to June. So they said, but after some reflection, we've decided that for smaller components like flight blades or bomb racks, they should be available in-game at the same time they appear in the store. They were just doing
you have to pay for bomb racks on your fucking ship. You already paid for the ship! Keep in mind, you've already spent $175 on your ship. Well, you know what you want with that ship? That's an extended warranty. That's what they do at the dealership, Joe. They're used car salesmen.
So did it have layaway for my bomb racks?
And we're not even talking about physical. At least you can come to work and you can drive around in your car and you can go to various places, like go hiking. But these are digital goods, Joe. You'll never be able to physically enter your ship with your digital bomb rack, okay? And then when this blew up in everybody's face, and CIG's initial response was hilarious. They basically used the excuse of having to work on 11 patches for 2025. But the fans don't think that justifies putting more microtransactions in the game. Hey, we did 11 patches in 2025. We are doing work, and this is expensive work. Release the fucking game!
Yeah. According to Salty Mike, this is a guy that does a lot of Star Citizen content. I've actually watched a bunch of his videos for research, and he's still very much a mega fan. But he also calls them out. He says the root issue here is you continue to sell more and more items in the game that have a wider impact on what a player would do day to day. And then another user says components shouldn't be on the store at all. Never mind later on. People are angry because these are being sold in any way, shape, or form for real money. It is almost like when you spend $500+ on a ship in a game that hasn't come out yet. Maybe you should.
Why? They should not be hurting for money. They've raised over $800 million. And they're acting as if they are desperate for money.
But they are desperate for money because they've spent all of it.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I mean, just simple Google stuff. I mean, we pulled it up previously on because they put out their financials, so we know how much they've spent on. They had previously spent on it year after year, and it's like, hey, we spent $800 million. It's like, yeah, you only had $800 million. So we're at the point now where they may have to start borrowing money from somebody somewhere.
Big company, they don't want to do that. They'll never do that. Chris Roberts won't ever do that.
Well, so
they'll rather just lie or do something all fucked up.
This is what it is, right? Like if you're completely out of money, it's like we need to sell $10 cup holders for your ships don't come with cup holders. In order to get a cup holder, you have to give me $10.
So get this and now I've done more research on top of this because it's been a week, a few days since this was announced. I might break this video out in a separate thing just to upload it separately so you can get right to the juicy bits. So they did this new tactic in order to generate more revenue because we think they're desperate for money, right? You've already paid for this. So I went back because I was an original backer. I don't even know how long ago.
He has a metal card somewhere.
I lost that card. It's gone. Joe, where's the fucking card?
I've seen it.
I've seen
it, and it's fallen
we made fun
out
of him for years.
It
is, you paid what?
Paperweight.
It probably
paperweight.
disintegrated. It's been so long. So I'm an original backer. So we paid for these AI blades back in 2014. Why? because it was a $47 million stretch goal. If you go back into their funding page, I guess they forgot their own fucking promises. They forgot their own, on Kickstarter, it's stretch goals, boom, bam, bam, we're going to give you this extra thing and this extra thing. If they hit $47 million to make this game, by the way, they've reached $800 million. Here's what you get. Engine tuning kit. You get a kit. It's one of the best-selling starter kits for the discerning home enthusiast, featured in Whitley's latest Steel of the Year issue. This kit comes with everything a fledgling engineer to take a deeper look at the mechanics of their engine. You'll be able to view your output and modify the energy draw numbers in an easy, comprehensible way. Use the 38-piece Omni tool to access your engine and start tweaking. So there were engine tuning kits. You could tune your engine with tools. Oh, this seems even more elaborate than what they promised with the AI blades. Because here you could do it yourself, but the AI blades do it for you, I guess, is going to be their excuse. That was at $47 million. There's another one at the very end of the page. At $65 million was the last stretch goal. Because they were like, well, we can't come up with a bunch of stretch goals to go on forever, so they stopped at $65 million. What was the $65 million stretch goal? Enhanced ship modularity, which is exactly what we're talking about.
It's different. These are blades.
Oh, okay.
You said ship mod. No, different. Blades.
So
are
you have
different.
the ship of your dreams, but really wish that it could be customized to suit your needs a bit more than the off-the-shelf models. And this new goal, a massive undertaking, by the way, is going to be of interest to you. We are looking at overhauling any suitable ships, including the Cutlass, Avenger, Retaliator, Redeemer. How quaint. They had what? They could only name 4 ships back then. To allow many modular components to be available as swap outs.
Maybe that stretch goal meant you had the availability to purchase.
For example, if you have purchased a Redeemer and then using the new system, you would have a variety of new modules available to refit the ship, internal and external, to suit your play requirements. This is literally describing AI Blades. If you want to make a bounty hunter ship, you could buy a quote-unquote stasis chamber module for the lower deck, and you would be able to capture and store fugitives to be delivered for their bounties at your leisure. You could configure the upper deck to be outfitted with a long-range communication suite, allowing you to keep in touch with your info agent even when in deep space. Fed up bounty hunting? Swap in a larger cargo module in the lower deck to make a profitable run you have been planning for a while. Jesus Christ, they're made like novels over here in the stretch goals. I think they just hired an author for a book, and he was just writing a sci-fi book, and he was writing advertisements in the sci-fi world for the sci-fi book. He didn't actually know that somebody's going to actually have to deliver this stuff after a while.
See, those are the old components. Those are like 11 years old. Those components don't work on this ship because this is a different model.
Oh, right. These components were just for the Cutlass, Avenger, Retaliator, Redeemer.
They don't
work.
They don't work.
They don't work on the other ones.
It's not the way it works. Jesus.
We gave you those. What are you, greedy?
If you buy a 10-year-old car, the new components don't fit on them, Joe. I don't know what you were expecting.
Wow. I get
it, but I don't.
What do you mean you get it?
Oh, I completely and totally understand everything that they're doing. Like,
Yeah.
it absolutely makes sense.
No, the
we
people
get
backing
what
it as
they're
well.
doing, but you don't get that people still giving them thousands and thousands of
Yes,
dollars.
I get it. It's like, look, I invested this much. I want to see where this goes, but you already sunk in a lot. So you feel I feel like you're stuck.
Yeah,
But this is just like
there's
there's got to be a fucking breaking point, even before this though.
Well, this was a breaking point. It was so bad when they released all these things that they pretty much receive universal hate. I mean, of course, there's those people that that want to lick the boots. But then they pulled it back and they're like, fine, we won't release these. But the thing is, if the numbers that are being reported are accurate, I'm not making it up. This is not my opinion. If the numbers that are being reported of their expenditures are accurate, They are out of
Burning
fucking
through
money.
their money, yeah.
And if they are out of fucking money remember,
we might not even get a game.
well, so that's the thing.
Well, they're
because
fast tracking the single player.
they said that it was feature complete in 2023, which a lot of people don't believe anymore. And they said that they would need years and years of polish. And if it needs years of polish and they spend $150 million plus a year, they need $300 million just to release Squadron 42 at the same rate of development as along with these other things.
Yeah.
They need a massive influx of cash. Now the problem with
this might be worse than what we think.
if someone comes in like the Saudi fund or any of these other people that like to buy up portions of games, they're going to want a return, and they're going to want $9 cup holders, and it's not going to be just blades and these other things. So it's like we're at a really interesting point in the Star Citizen development where they are. I think they are truly out of cash, and if they are out of cash, they're going to be desperate to do more fucked up shit. You know that ship that you just said is $15,000, $5,000 now because they're desperate. And how the people who bought
the prices are different for content creators and people that have already spent money in the game. That's already a thing for that massive ship.
Yeah.
Guy, you want to see the fans' reaction? The Star Citizen. I started going here on Reddit. 5 more years of this, and I'm gonna get mad.
Yeah.
That's a little meme that somebody put, but somebody responded to that meme, laughing out loud. That's pretty funny and actually understandable. You'll end up as one type of player. I'm the 24-14 backer who plays 1 week per year. I don't have time to get angry over this. So that's the kind of community that they have. So they don't care, some of them, but some of them do care. And it said, look, honestly, as a Star Citizen fan, this is from Logic DL. It's still really annoying to see Hello Games release more free expansions to No Man's Sky and still refuse to take at least $10 fucking for the said expansion each time. And CIG releases Blades for $20 each module with timed exclusivity, and when confronted, just go, okay, so we'll release them at the same time and on the store and in the game. Does that make it better? Instead of realizing that selling Blades in the first place was the dumb idea. Like, come the fuck on, CIG. You have $800 million. Release a damn game if you need the money so badly. But as Alex says, it doesn't work like that. They may not have the money. You say had. And then another guy, definitely CIG are good at shooting themselves in the foot, which is especially sad when you have a gang waiting for them to do it and just to have something else to go nuts at, because then this guy's more mad about the reaction to the people going nuts when something bad happens at CIG. Maybe you shouldn't react like that. Maybe you should be with the rest of us so they stop fucking up.
It's their baby. Can't hurt them.
Now here comes their defenders. If it were actually pay to win, it would matter. We've already seen the results of how much they affect, and they increase one area while decreasing another. Slotting in a blade at this time is no way a guarantee of victory. Also, just like everything in Star Citizen, they will be released into the verse for looting or purchase by the end of the summer. Many of those people screaming about this have zero issues about how the new ships are sold. It's goofy as fuck. Now selling components on the store, granted, is a bad move, and one I wish CIG would have stayed away from. But it's worrying to wonder how long before the entire ship loadouts, weapons, components, and ammos creep in again. That is scummy and is worth being openly and loudly against. However, screaming pay to win at the top of their lungs just makes people look moronic. As he opens his credit card and pays $5,000 for the next ship, insurance, and multiple blades, and say, it's okay because it's not pay to win for your digital goods. Yeah, that's moronic. That's the moronic part. Worrying that the game is becoming pay to win. This guy's an idiot.
It's going to launch. I look, and I want to reiterate, I'm super excited to play Squadron 42 if it ever comes out, and Star Citizen, and I'm not going to put a single, other than the base cost to play the game from
Steam.
We're
going to be first in line to fucking play that shit.
I'm only going to pay $40 to $90 or whatever it fucking comes out at, and I'm going to probably have the same experience as all these other fucking crazies.
I'm going to ram every expensive ship I see.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't care. I spent $570.
It comes right back to my head.
Yeah, with my log.
Now, if you ram a free-to-play player, you might get shot. You might actually get shot in the real world. So don't do that.
Ram everyone.
Yeah. You mentioned before that this has been a wildly mismanaged project, and I don't think
Never seen it. Never seen it happen.
That it's going to continue to be mismanaged, and if we're truly in the final 2 years of development, it's going.
Oh, they said it's 2027.
Well, they said feature complete for Squadron 42. It needs a couple years of polish, but we don't know what that means.
Yeah,
and
that was 2 years ago.
That was 2023. Is
What
when
was
they
our
said
prediction again? Whether we have that up.
Oh yeah, I'll pull it
so
up.
When's the next convention? Maybe we should hit up the next Star Citizen.
We're gonna
convention.
get they're gonna let us in.
I don't think they'll let us in. At
They
this
used to
point.
do it here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they stopped that a long time ago.
They're spending
Because
too much
I'm here,
money.
I guess.
Yeah, which is weird.
Well, they're also spending a lot of money doing that shit.
Well, I mean, they know that they've
Well,
got.
that, Joe, is what generates them money. And it was in the article. They have a Star Citizen con
Let's
coming
go.
up. And then all the
go.
Star Citizen people that are so depressed right now and are ranting against the company and rallying, they're going to all open their wallets once more. Oh, it's fine. Look, that new trailer they released. Oh, this then
like,
no.
guys,
there is no con.
nothing short.
No
What?
con this year. It's digital only.
Oh,
It's
they
a-
are out of money, Alex.
I mean,
I thought because I wanted to check it out. It's like, hey,
They are
work
out of
100 hours
money.
this week. Don't worry, I
October
got a
11th
pizza party.
is the digital
That's
con.
confirmed. Then that's confirmed.
Well, I mean, you see the
They're out
pictures
of
of
money.
their offices and all the other thing. It's like you guys have just been lighting money on fire, and you just thought that this was a never-ending gravy train. And I mean, like I said, like you can only milk some of these people so much.
Pizza party?
Okay, so apparently
gonna
our
have-
predictions were Star Citizen, Squadron 42, or Beyond Good and Evil. That's what we were talking about. We didn't actually do a year, so let's go ahead and do a year.
We did a year, but probably before we started recording.
Okay,
these
well, I'm
things.
going to record the year. Okay, now what? What are you thinking?
Squadron 40.
27. 42.
I think that there's a little better than a snowball's chance in hell that it comes out next year.
Ale, which one? Squadron 42?
42.
Oh yeah,
42
only 40.
in 2026.
And I don't really believe it. But I
OJ,
think
when does Squadron 42 come
7.
out? Just the single-player version that apparently was feature
2027.
complete 2 years ago. So you're taking 2027?
Yep.
I think that's right, but
In 2027.
I just thought of that because
AJ.
of, was it Gollum? Watch Gollum and then we'll play Squadron 42.
This is such a huge controversy, and like Squadron 42 should be out by now. I don't understand. All the recordings are done, all the motion capture is done.
The sheets are done.
Did they accidentally fire the guy that puts all that together? The engine is running with ships are flying.
every time they add something
What
to
is happening?
Every time they add something to Star Citizen, they probably try to put it in the single player experience, and then it just makes everything worse.
So I would normally say 2027, but I think that the digital con, the desperate for money microtransaction stuff has me to believe they're running out of money. So they're going to put out Squadron 42 faster,
unfinished,
more than they need to. So I'm going to also say 2026.
OJ just price right us. Damn it.
Okay, Alex, the universe, when does it come out?
2030. Shit.
I think I was thinking of at least a full year.
After? I
I'll
think
say
2 years after, so I'm going to go 2028.
Yeah, I guess I'll say 2027. I think,
2027 for universe?
yeah.
Okay,
For the sake of
Joe,
making things interesting.
when is
I think
universe?
I don't think it's going to be complete.
9.
I think they're going to release it in a 1.0
Yeah,
garbage
fair
patch.
enough. We're just
Yeah.
saying, and not a fucking Alpha 4.21.
No,
a
no.
1.0
Full
release.
release.
1.0
Joe,
2029. Let's
Okay.
do it.
or never. It just never comes out.
He's going to take off.
do you want to do the never?
gonna
Because
flee the
never used to not be on the table. Actually, never used to be on the table, but never is actually way more on the table now than it has been ever, because of the lack of money.
Damn.
How many times have they changed graphics engines? Just once, right?
Yeah. AJ, I'm going to make a bold prediction here. Never. Never. The universe will never be as advertised. So you can go through the entire Kickstarter. What I'm saying is go through the entire pledges, all the things that they promised in the each individual pledge, 47 million, 65 million, 100 million, none of that will be in universe. And I don't really mean at release. I mean just forever.
You don't think that they're going to do
They're going to miss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 elements in there and never put it in.
I can see that.
Universe never as advertised.
You know, I still don't like No Man's Sky and how I got lied to, but you got to give them credit for coming out and constantly fixing the game. I don't think that they can afford to, for free, continue to fix their game.
They won't.
So
They won't.
No.
You're right.
I don't think it's going to be
Absolutely
like
not.
that.
Yeah. Okay, wow. Fucking Star Citizen, such a big rant and angry reaction, but we wanted to get in depth in it and talk to you and give reaction from the community and all angles here. But getting back to other news stories, do you have one after Star Citizen?
No, that was the big one for this one.
Okay.